What's up everybody, this is Master Ian Gamer, and we just got a rather unexpected teaser trailer for the Overwatch 2 PvE story missions. Yes, this was dropped just a short while ago during the Summer Games Fest Xbox Showcase, and in this trailer we get a sneak peek at the upcoming PvE missions, which will be launching in August, along with a sneak peek at 2 new maps for the new Flashpoint game mode, and a little itsy bitsy teaser of the next upcoming new support hero. So in this video, I'm going to run through all the new details and information and stuff we had revealed in this trailer, so let's go ahead and jump right on in. First and foremost, we get a pretty extensive stretch of just sort of PvE cinematic cutscenes being shown off. Most of this seems to be footage from those same Rio and Toronto missions we've had teased for admittedly years at this point. There's not a whole ton of like new stuff shown off other than just new footage of existing characters and existing locations, but we do get a cool look at some of the new PvE enemies we'll be facing, which is very neat, as well as the introduction of a sort of story plot point, it seems, where Null Sector's like mind controlling Omnics, it seems. Interesting. A little look into the actual story and what's going on here, but I'm sure we'll learn much more about that once we actually get into playing it this August. But next up then, we get a look at the new Flashpoint game mode, along with 2 new maps that'll be coming with it, one of which appears to be set in Junkertown, and the other which appears to be India. Now, I gotta admit, this Junkertown map looks pretty cool. I love all the verticality of this one room here. I'm sure you won't actually be able to walk up high onto all those scaffoldings and catwalks and everything, but it's a pretty cool looking map nonetheless. The India map also looks very pretty as well. This is a map which we've had teased in various capacities over the past several years, it seems. And it does look like this is finally a version of that India map, which was apparently originally for some canceled game mode, which will now exist as part of the Flashpoint game mode. Now, unfortunately, we don't actually really learn any information about what Flashpoint itself is. We can see teams of players fighting each other, and there generally seem to be sort of control point-esque locations where they're fighting, and I have to say the maps overall look very big, but that could just be deceptive with the way, background details are sort of panned into the shots here. But the devs have said in the past that Flashpoint would be a very large map type, so I'm kind of curious to see what all these end up being. Alright, so I'm actually jumping back in here after having recorded the main video for this. There was an article posted on Xbox's website detailing a bit more some of what we actually see here in the trailer. Most importantly, they go a bit more in depth with the Flashpoint game mode, so I just want to read here real quickly what they actually have to say about it. Teams will fight to control key positions across the map called Flashpoints, aiming to capture 3 of them before their opponents do. Things move fast, there won't be any relaxing once a point is captured, as the next one is already waiting to be captured as well. Not only will this mode test your skills on the gamepad, but your ability to plan ahead and stop opponents from moving to the next Flashpoint will be a huge key to victory. So basically this seems like Control Point, but with multiple points. That's the idea I'm getting from this. If you've played TF2, this is basically the Control Points map mode, as opposed to the King of the Hill map mode, which is what Control Point in Overwatch 1 and 2 basically is. You get it, it's Control Point with multiple control points, which is an interesting idea. I have a slight concern that it's like, if you're having multiple points you're all trying to capture, all that really does is like divides your team. If it prevents you from working together as a team, like in terms of fighting things, because you're all trying to spread out to capture different points. Unless I'm misunderstanding some element of this, I don't know. I'm excited to play it. I'm interested in seeing how it actually plays out, but just based on the premise alone and how Overwatch 2 tends to actually play as a game with a team, I don't know, it seems sort of odd, though I guess we'll have to wait and see. We then also get a little look at the Hero Mastery missions, which are sort of single player, time trial, test your skill type missions, they seem. Overall, there's something that I'm not personally very excited about. I think they're interesting, and I'm sure there's a lot of people who'll be very into them, wanting to get those high scores and mastering all the mechanics of their favorite heroes. But overall, they just look sort of, like a glorified practice range in a sense. Speaking of which, there is also a small reveal of the new firing range, which I guess is just a fun fun new thing for some players to play around with. And a very short tease for a co-op event featuring the push mode robot with big old guns for arms now. I'm guessing that's going to be a sort of PvE mission type where you have to like escort the push bot, but he's got big guns to help you kill the robots. I don't know exactly. We don't get too big of a look at what's actually going on here, but we do see that Tracer's running with a canister on her back in this one clip here, which does seem there's some sort of delivery element to this game mode, perhaps. You have to retrieve canisters, bring them to a particular spot in order to complete an objective. Just a theory there on my part based off of what we see. But nonetheless, it is very exciting to get a sneak peek at whatever co-op PvE we do actually end up getting in Overwatch 2. And then at the very end, we get a very quick, very small, very hard to break down reveal, I guess you could say, of what is presumably going to be the Season 6 support hero. Yes, I've tried to get the best still image I can of this character, and there's a number of things we can sort of discern about them. First and foremost, they do appear to be a female character, and to me, they appear to be East Asian, just based off of their facial structure, but based off of past teasers, it seems like this hero is supposed to be Peruvian, so, you know, it's Overwatch art style. You can't always tell people's ethnicities just by looking at them. So more than likely, this character will be Peruvian, but we can also see they have a big old cape, some very interesting sort of headwear going on, almost like a headdress of some kind of hard to tell. And then their weapon, which I think is the most interesting aspect of this. To me, it looks like a big sort of like buster sword type thing, but she's holding it as if it's a gun. The barrel of this weapon definitely looks like it has a blade along it, so some kind of sword is what I'm expecting there. But then there is some sort of like trigger mechanism she's actually holding on to, and the stock which goes into her shoulder. So my guess is that this weapon is a hybrid sword gun type weapon, which is an interesting weapon for a support hero, given that we know the next upcoming hero will be a support. And I'm really curious to see what this sort of like jumping pose she's doing is. Maybe that's just, you know, fanfare, visual, some sort of highlight intro or exciting sequence. Or maybe that's actually one of her abilities. She jumps up, holds her hand up, and does something. I don't know. Again, there's not a whole lot to really dig into here. This is just an interesting first look at the new hero. And I'm sure we'll be learning more in various scattered dev interviews and Twitter posts and random Reddit Q&A type things that are a real pain to try to track down all the details from. But at the very least, it is exciting for us to get this sneak peek. Now, once again, this is technically advertising Overwatch 2 Season 6, not Season 5, which does start this coming week, but Season 6, which will be launching August 10th. And if I'm going to go ahead and hazard a guess here, I think that announcement about PvE being canceled and the reaction that garnered from the community kind of pushed Blizzard into panic mode. And I think that's why they've released this trailer when they have, because this is basically, more than anything, a reminder to say, hey, PvE still exists. It just doesn't exist in the form we originally said it was going to, but there's still story missions and null sector and, oh look, a new hero. Yeah, I'll be honest, this trailer does very much so feel like damage control to me, especially given just how little concrete new information is actually in this trailer. You know, it's my thoughts there. I'm sure Blizzard is in a bit of a position at the moment. But nonetheless, I think that's all there is to say about this trailer at the moment. Definitely let me know your thoughts on this new content reveal in the comments down below. Are you excited to learn more about this new hero we see at the end? Or maybe you're interested in learning more about Flashpoint and the PvE in general. As always, thank you so much for watching, and be sure to subscribe, follow me on Twitter, hit up that bell icon, and come join my Discord server to hang out and never miss any of my future Overwatch content. Special thanks to my YouTube channel members who help make these videos possible, and if you'd like to join them to earn some cool rewards, then just hit that join button down below. Otherwise, this is Master Ian Gamer signing off, and until next time, have a great day.